All right, tubers, the project today is to change the thermostat on a 2002 Astro van with all-wheel drive. It's a 4.3 V6. Typically speaking, this would be the easiest job in the world. However, I mentioned this is an all-wheel drive. They say to drain the antifreeze from a drain plug. Now, no human can possibly reach that drain plug where it is, okay, on the radiator. The hoses and stuff are inaccessible. So the only method to drain the antifreeze is on the engine block. It's got a standard drain plug. You can see I've taken it out. I've already drained the antifreeze out of this one, obviously, and I thought I'd document this, so if I ever forgot, I might come back and look at this video again. You have to take the drain plug out of the block. It's very easy to find. It's right in between the oil cooler lines, just forward of the oil filter on the side of the block. It's right next to a freeze plug. You can't miss it. Okay, it takes a lot of torque to get it out. I had to use a cheater pipe, and this is a 9/16. It's not a 14, not a 15. It's a 9/16. So, General Motors, I know. All right. Now the other thing is, when you go to get your thermostat housing off, here's the housing itself. It fits in there this way. It originally had two of these bolts on here, just like this. That it's got a stud mounted on the end, and that stud is for ground, which should be cleaned up. What I did to get the little one out, the forward one, this position here, is a real major pain in the neck. Other videos, I noticed other YouTube videos documenting how hard it was to get it off. I got it off using a deep socket, a little extension, but for a different reason than you might think. And I'll cover that. Let me get my flashlight here. The reason it's hard to get to is directly underneath that cruise control bracket. Well, a previous owner, previous mechanic, whatever, who worked on this, as you can see, has removed and left out that bolt that holds on the cruise control bracket, and also the nut at the bottom that secures it. Now, where they are, I don't know. I'm going to find more and put them back on there, of course. But that's how he got it off. He actually took that and sprung the bracket off enough to the left to get lined up on it and to take that one off. So I didn't have to do any real monkey motion like some of the other guys had to get them off. I got mine off fairly straightforward. Now, when I put this back together, as soon as I get that thermostat housing mounted back on there, I'll find a nut and a bolt and put that back together. While I had this out, it was fairly straightforward. I got a garden hose, and I just flushed fresh water down the thermostat housing and also down the neck here until it ran out clean out the bottom of the engine. Like I said, I still haven't got the drain plug loose in the radiator, but too bad. It can't be done without pulling all this off. If you want to, you can pull all the shrouds off and then pull the radiator out and undo all the hoses and all that, but I ain't into it. So just pull the drain plug out of the block, and that's going to be into that. Now, when you put it back together, Teflon tape on the drain plug so we can get this back out next time. I got anti-seize compound on the bolts so I get them out next time. I wire brushed the nut and bolt here, the stud, and I also wire brushed, show this back in here, the ground fitting here. I polished that one all up. So we put the ground wire back on, it'll actually ground something. So I think we're good to go. I think I'm good to put this all back together. The only thing would stump me, that's the reason I'm making this video, is so that you can figure out, A, you're not going to drain the radiator. The only drain on an Astro all-wheel drive. Now the two-wheel drive is completely different. This is all open in the front. Underneath the all-wheel drive, we got drive lines. There's all kinds of stuff, front differential, all kinds of stuff underneath here. So you can't get to it underneath. I could show you, but I'm too lazy to crawl down there in the water because the underneath the car is all wet now. So anyway, the rest of this job should be straightforward. I got to put some missing hardware back on here and then put the thermostat housing, put the hose back on. I got to change that clamp. I don't like them spring clamps, never have. And sure enough, it corroded the crap out of the neck here, and I don't know what to do about this. I never have. I never did figure out what to do with them. So put them back together, drive on, come back to it again in 10 years. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot. I'm out.